There we go. Fish on. Fish on. There we go. There we go. Doesn't feel too big. First bite of the day though. Oh, it's not bad. Oh, it's definitely not bad. Okay. First bite of the day, been fishing about 5 minutes. Nice. Take a look at that. I don't know how well you can see that, but that is how you want him to eat it. Both trebles in his face. This is extremely important when you're fishing crankbaits right here. Carry a good pliers. They shake around, you got a bunch of sharp hooks flying everywhere. Yes, this is how you want them to eat it. Okay, ain't mad at that. Not a giant, but a really quality start. Let's get him back. Now, I don't want to jinx anything, but we've only been fishing about 5 minutes. And if this keeps happening, I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. But for now, let's get back out there. Here we go. Very next cast. Very next cast. Very next cast, and it feels pretty good. Very next cast. Might have fired him up. Oh. Get in here. Very next cast. Oh. That was the very next cast. Get up here. Nice. Okay. Uh-oh. We might have fired him up, boys. Frickin' DT to the snout. Beautiful. Let's get right back out there. So as summer progresses more into fall, a lot of fish that were set up on offshore structure will start to make their way to the shallows, put on the feed bag, and it's really easy to catch fish on moving baits like a spinner bait, a chatter bait, a swim jig. But we're not quite there yet. It's still extremely hot, and this is just the very beginning of fall. So what that means to me is fish are willing to chase baits and potentially eat a little bit bigger baits. And there's a great search bait out there that I use always kind of the end of August, early September, and I guess I'll kind of use it in the fall too, but that's a giant DT series Rapala. This is a DT14, this is parrot color, this is one of my go-to colors, especially for water that's semi-stained. I'm not talking clear water, I'm not talking dirty water, I'm kind of talking about in between. Today I'm going to be kind of just looking offshore, casting a lot of crankbait, covering a lot of water. I don't have a lot of history on this lake, so this is a really awesome bait that I can just kind of chuck around, cover a bunch of water. If I poke some fish, then after that I can go with my 1-2 punch. The cool thing with a crankbait is a lot of times if you get a school fired up, you can go boom, ba boom, ba boom, cast for cast for cast, and really crush them on that. But if it seems like the school isn't fired up, or you maybe just pop 1 or 2 fish, that's where I'll come back and throw my drop shot or my shaky head. Right here I've got just a little VMC Finesse Nico hook on a tiny little trick worm. And then on my shaky head, I've got a little bit bigger trick worm with a VMC shaky head right there. And I'm probably only gonna pull these rods out if I find some fish, and then I need to go really slow after I've kind of worked it over with the crankbait. So that's my 1-2-3 punch, and now all that's left to do is find some fish and frickin' whack. Leaves are changing, water temperature's cooling off, and they're gonna eat this big plug. Let me show you kind of what I've been cranking on. This is on the Humminbird 360. The boat's right here, and you can kind of see this whole rock pile right in front of me. I'm a little bit up on it, but before I kind of backed off it, and I was ripping that crank right over top of all that. You do not need amazing electronics to be good with a crankbait, but it definitely helps making a purposeful cast. If I'm right here, I know I can kind of run that crank right on the edge here, work it out as it kind of slowly tapers and breaks off. But yeah, that's just kind of what I'm fishing, a bunch of clean rock, and then there's a little bit of weeds over here, but it seems like majority of the bites have came off this little pile right here. There we go. There we go. Fish on. Feels heavy. Feels really heavy, actually. Big fish. Big fish. Big fish. Big fish. Just gonna play him out. Big fish. Big fish. Another one on the DT14. He's staying down. Oh dang, he feels heavy. Oh dang, he feels really heavy. What the heck do I got? What in the heck do I got? What in the heck? It's a freaking catfish. That is not a bass, but hey, freaking decent cat at that. What in the heck? Chow the DT. Okay, see ya, buddy. What the heck? I had no clue catfish lived in here. In Minnesota, usually our catfish hang out in rivers and lakes that are stocked with them. Weird. Okay, so I've been spot locked here for a solid, I don't know, 15 minutes. Caught a few fish, caught a random catfish. Now I think I'm just gonna kind of change my angle on this little rock structure I'm cranking. So I'm just gonna move up like, I don't know, 20 yards, spot lock again, and then kind of fan cast it. I feel like it's so important just to get a different angle on stuff sometimes, and a lot of times that can trigger a bite versus making the same cast over and over and over again. So we're just gonna change angles, cast around, and if that doesn't work, kind of repeat the process. Drag, pull, drag, pull. Fish on. Fish on. Here we go. There we go. Oh, it's big. It's big. It's big. It's big. It's big. It's big. Ah! He's hooked good. He's hooked pretty good. Get in here. Oh. Oh. Look at this one. Oh wow, he's got a gash on him. Look at that. Look at his weird marking. This is a freaking good one. That's how they're supposed to eat it. He got both the hooks. It's not that choked though. And that's why you throw the big plug right there. Dang Rapala DT14 parrot color. Look at his interesting marking. Dang. That's how they're supposed to eat it. Once again, make sure you have a pliers so he doesn't freak out. That's gorgeous right there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'll let Big Mama go here. Wow. It's a thick fish. Probably should have weighed it. All right. Now that was a bite in the right direction. Before I lose my light here, I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm cranking and kind of run through my full setup. And it all starts with line. I strictly run Suffix Advanced 12-pound fluorocarbon. I'll show you right here. I have a lot of spools, and it doesn't matter if I'm down south or up north. I change a lot of lines, so I buy bulk spools. This is the 12-pound, 100% fluorocarbon Suffix Advanced. And it doesn't really matter if I'm throwing a deep crank, whether it be DT14, 16, 20, or if I'm throwing a DT6 up by the bank, I'm throwing strictly 12-pound. It's just what I like. I have confidence in. I think it's strong, but yet it's a light enough line that it really lets the crankbait get down there and it doesn't kind of mess up any of the action. So next piece in the setup is the rod. I think that's very important, especially if you're deep cranking, to have a big, long parabolic rod. This is an 8-foot rod. This is the Dobyns Champion XP 805, and I freaking love this rod. Even in the wind, I can lob that bait way out there, make a nice long cast. And from there, I'm cranking it really fast until it gets to the bottom. And then I'm going nice and slow. I'm almost like dragging it, reeling in the slack. Dragging it, reeling in the slack. And the beauty is with light line and a lot of trebles, and a lot of times the fish don't get it completely deep. This rod takes all the fight of the fish. So as soon as I hook up, I just really lace into them, and this rod is extremely parabolic. Takes the whole fight of the fish. As far as my reel goes, my crankbait setup, I like anything that's slow gear ratio. I like a 6:3 to 1. I rip it really, really fast to get it down there, but once that bait's down there, if you have a slow gear ratio reel, you can just crawl it nice and slow, and it'll stay down on the bottom and just kind of slowly hunt on top of all those rocks. If you burn it right across their face, they might not get a chance to swim over and smoke it. So I like to rip it down really fast and then go very slow with my plug. This is how I crank, but there's no right or wrong way. And I think the best thing to do is really feel it out and see what the fish like. So today it seems like I'll rip it around really fast, and then I'm going nice and slow. Nice and slow. And as soon as I can feel myself hitting off those rocks, sometimes I'll stop it and that bait will float up a little bit, and then I'll reel it back down kind of fast. And every day's different, every lake's different. The weather affects fish obviously a lot. So like I said, there's no right or wrong way, feel it out. If you're ripping it down there really fast and they're eating it when you're ripping it fast, keep going faster, keep going faster. If they're not biting it fast and they just want it barely ticking on that bottom, slow it down, slow it down. So today I'm throwing a DT14. DT stands for dives to 14 feet. And right now I'm actually sitting in 11 feet and I'm casting in 11 feet. And you're probably thinking, is that overkill to be running a DT14 in 11 feet? Absolutely not. I like to upsize my plugs. I like them to get down there fast. I like them to freaking grind the bottom. So I'm not scared to throw this in 7, 8, 9, 10 foot of water, even though it does dive to 14. The cool thing is if you are fishing rocks and it kind of breaks off, you have the opportunity for this bait to work all the way out to 14, 15 feet, depending upon the line you run. This is what late summer fall fishing is all about. Cool evenings, I'm not sweating, there's a nice light breeze, and it's freaking gorgeous. The leaves are just starting to turn. This is why I love fall fishing. It's beautiful. If you find yourself bassing late summer, early fall, make sure you have tied on a giant DT Rapala. And it just doesn't need to be on rocks like this. It can be on old weed edges, it can be over brush, it can be just on brake lines. These things are very versatile and they cover a lot of water. So thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end. I'll link everything I used today down below. And yeah, I guess there's nothing left to be said than stay tuned. And as always, let the adventure begin.
Oh my pretty babe, something ain't right. Got to find a way to move ahead. Oh my pretty babe, I won't be